Now it's time for Corner Table. It's our exclusive theater review segment. It features legendary critic John Simon and Justin Brown. Simon, he wrote for the New York Magazine for more than 35 years. He's also been featured in the New York Times, Washington Post, among many, many others. Justin, he's an actor and director who also reviews programs. Tonight, well, John and Justin, they're taking a look at the band's Visit, an incredible story of an Egyptian band that winds up in Israel and how the universal language of music brings everyone together.
Hey Corner Table friends, today we're talking about the band's Visit. John, what are your initial thoughts?
It's a pretty good musical. It is unusual, it's original, it's not like anything else, and for me it works. Plus it has very good acting, very good directing, and very fine sort of visuals.
Can you unpack for me what works about the show for you?
Well, it's, you know what it is, it's about an Egyptian police orchestra being invited to perform.
In Israel.
It's presumably a Muslim group that invited these Muslims. But somehow they landed in a different town with a similar name, which however is all Jewish. And now there's no more buses that evening to go to the town to which they're supposed to go. And here they are talking Arabic, talking to people who talk Hebrew. But they might manage to use as a lingua franca, they manage to use English. That's how we get to the show in English, but in kind of sometimes faulty English.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a good conveying of what it is like people who are without a future, without much of a present, sitting around some outskirt cafe, doing not much of anything, waiting for something that's not going to happen and that they know is not going to happen. So there's this aura of melancholy, of gallows humor, of you know, laughing even though there's nothing to laugh at, which is very well conveyed by the show. And you get a sense of relationships that might have happened but didn't, because the band leader of the Egyptians and the woman who owns the cafe have a kind of attraction for each other, but nothing comes of it. So it's very realistic. It doesn't have a happy ending particularly. It doesn't have an unhappy, dramatic ending. It just peters in and peters out on kind of useless lives. These little people who hang around this outskirt cafe and who have nothing really to look forward to, but who manage to live anyway.
Absolutely. The funny thing is, what I found entertaining about this piece specifically is that you have to kind of have a relationship to someone who's Arabic or Jewish and really understand the nuances, because they end up in this town because the Arabic accent doesn't actually make a difference between P sounds and B sounds, which is how they end up in a town that starts with a B instead of a town that starts with a P. And I think that for me it didn't work. I didn't like it at all, and it's very interesting that you enjoyed it. What I enjoyed more than anything was the music.
Well,
I
yes.
find that Broadway can be either a desolate wasteland of simplicity or monotony, or it can be an oasis of diversity. And with this score, they're really honoring a lot of that Arabic, Middle Eastern, Jewish music thematically in it, and it's really wonderful to see that band play, but also creating a conversation between that traditional sounding Middle Eastern music and jazz music, which I think they did really well, especially on Ariel Sachsel's part, who does this beautiful song called Herod's Love Song, and it sounds so well performed with jazz intricacies. Ultimately, I'm guessing you're saying we should totally go see this show. You would suggest people go see it?
Oh, very much so. I think that the two principal actors, Katrina Lenk, who owns the cafe, is one of the most beautiful women on the American stage, and also very talented. And it's a rare thing that we have an actress who is both this good-looking and this talented. And she plays that character in a way that really brings a fairly ordinary woman to life. He, on the other hand, Tony Shalhoub, who plays the leader of the band, is somewhat descended from that same area and has a plus that way. But quite aside from that, he is a very good actor, but very interesting music, which slightly incorporates Jewish and Arab music, but goes beyond that and conveys a kind of nostalgia, a kind of melancholia, a kind of hope within hopelessness. And it's all in the music, which is quite something.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you as always for joining us, not just tonight, but all week long. We will see you back here Monday, 6 p.m. as always. Till then, have a great night and a terrific weekend.